We've all heard of spoiled children, but can you imagine a child building a house without their parents' permission? Hi everyone, Ken here. Welcome to This House. Today we are exploring Phoebe Hearst's Hacienda. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House. Phoebe Hearst had humble beginnings. Growing up in St. Clair, Missouri, she aspired to be a teacher in her small town. All of this changed when George Hearst came to town to take care of his dying mother. George had grown up in Sullivan, Missouri, and had never completed his elementary school education. Perhaps he felt drawn to Phoebe for her intellect. Phoebe, on the other hand, was perhaps drawn to George for his wealth. He had struck it rich while mining, and reinvested his money by purchasing shares of other mines. His net worth at the time was equivalent to $3 million today. The two were quick to marry, and within 10 years had expanded George's business, making their combined net worth around $17 million. Or the modern-day equivalent of about $412 million. Meanwhile, they had been raising their only child, William Randolph Hearst. Phoebe educated him in arts, wanting a cultured son, but ended up with possibly the country's most spoiled child. George and Phoebe found a beautiful tract of wilderness in Pleasanton, California, and had intended to build a home for orphans, but George passed away before they could get started on their philanthropy. Phoebe took some time for herself, traveling and visiting their other properties, leaving William with a hefty allowance to do as he pleased. William had heard about his parents' plans to build an orphanage and decided to visit the property in Pleasanton, falling in love with the natural beauty of the landscape. Without his mother's permission, he hired architect A.C. Schweinfurt to design him a mansion. The 53-room hacienda drew inspiration from various architectural styles, including Moorish, Pueblo, and Mission style. After 4 years of building, Phoebe decided to visit Pleasanton to get started on the orphanage, only to discover that her son had desecrated the land and had selfishly built an obscene mansion instead of giving homeless children shelter. She was furious. She banned William from the property, not allowing him to live in the home he had built for himself using her money. She never forgave him either. As punishment, William would not receive enough money to build a dream house until it was willed to him upon Phoebe's death. Phoebe hired her favorite architect, Julia Morgan, to try to make sense of the architectural nightmare her son had created. Through a series of renovations and expansions, Julia was able to transform the jumbled maze of a house into a more cohesive mansion. Phoebe was able to make it her own, with an artistic flair. She displayed Navajo baskets in the rafters, with 16th century European tapestries hung below, as we can see here in the music room. The strange configuration and styling of the home gave her a chance to experiment with various styles and furniture. The drawing room was just as eclectic in its own right, with damask wallpaper set below exposed beams in European, Asian, and Native American art sharing the same walls. The entire house became a collector's paradise. Even the library was filled with antiques from every inhabited continent, with custom chandeliers strung from beads and seashells, with fireplaces covered over by tropical plants. Guests sometimes referred to this room as the hall because of the lack of books, questioning whether it could actually be called a library. The dining room was a more intimate space, with a more cohesive European style, though there were some oddities. The fabric chandelier hung over the center of the table, and in lieu of pocket doors, there were curtains hung between the door frames. Phoebe's bedroom would fit right in with the current boho chic trends. With dark walls covered in clustered picture frames, ornate furniture from each continent, and assorted knickknacks, all set above Persian rugs, her style was uniquely her own for that time period. She entertained, threw huge parties, and thoroughly enjoyed the property while fulfilling her philanthropic dreams, donating huge sums into education and establishing the National Congress of Mothers, which became the National Parent-Teacher Association. She passed away in her hacienda in 1919, leaving only $10 million, or the modern-day equivalent of $171 million to her son William, who immediately sold the hacienda. The house became a country club for a short while, before being reinvented as a dude ranch, though it eventually was turned back into a country club. Unfortunately, all the work of Julia Morgan was lost in 1969 during a fire. Only the music room survived the embers. Today, the lot has been redeveloped as a country club, though the building you see is not the original, nor was it constructed to be a copy. What are your thoughts on the hacienda? Did you like the eclectic style? Or do you think Phoebe should have just torn it down and started over? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House. I would also like to take a moment to say a special thank you to our This House supporters whose names you can see on screen right now. If you would like to see your name on the screen, please consider joining our membership program today. I'll see you next time on This house.